Here with Pierre Vincent Girardin, and we wanted to talk a little bit about his 2020 white wines. Could you talk a little bit about the vintage and the style of the wines?
I think you can see on my face how good the vintage was. 2020 was amazing as a young winemaker to produce Chardonnay. That was easier than the previous vintages. Perfect yields, so no unbalanced grapes. That means that we could do the press that we wanted. So we did a very strong and long press to go and find the best extraction on the Chardonnay. We got wonderful lees. So thanks to that, we kept all of them and put everything in the barrel with the freshly pressed juice with all the lees. That helps the wines during the aging with the special size of barrel, 456 liters. That really help for the wine to express itself and give more aromatics. Moreover, we had already low alcoholic degrees, so that developed even more the aromatics of the wines. An amazing vintage, perfectly balanced. That allows us to do only 1 year of aging in barrel for all the white wines. And then that was tailor-made aging for all the different tiny cuvées. We decided to avoid all the filtration, so we did a very small fining, and the dose of the fining was depend of each wine, and just we decided to adjust just by tasting and no analysis, because that was a vintage that needed a lot of feelings and not only reading some numbers. We really wanted to feel it, to make it very personal and to give personality to each of the cuvées. And I think that's what we succeeded to do. So I'm pretty happy with this vintage.
Yeah, I mean, the thing I was amazed with for a warm vintage and a dry vintage, the wines are so lifted, have great freshness, and they're not heavy. I mean, the average alcohol for your whites is what in 2020?
The average is 12.5. So for me, that's a perfect balance for Burgundy wines. This is also due to the early harvest that we had in 2020. We started on the 19th of August, record for the family, maybe record for most of the winemakers in Burgundy. It was such a special vintage, but that's why we kept all the freshness, the acidity, but it was still ripe. So we were lucky enough that the ripeness came at the same time for both phenolic and technologic ripeness. So.
Yeah, it's a vintage that even though it was a dry, warm growing season, the wines don't taste like a warm vintage. They have beautiful balance, really great freshness. There's a lot of that minerality that you look for in great Chardonnay from Burgundy, and it's a great surprise. At least it was when I tasted through the lineup. Love these 2020s. Thank you, Pierre Vincent.